12 others. Now, this jihadist carried out his savage rampage, all in the name of ISIS, and authorities say he followed the terror group's instructions almost to a T. Now, the president is now demanding tougher immigration laws, more extreme vetting, and is considering sending this, quote, animal terrorist to Guantanamo Bay. We have been warning more ISIS-style attacks would happen if we did nothing. Sadly, this is exactly what is now playing out. We have a message for the left in this country, especially in politics. Stop the politics. Enough with the political correctness. Protect the American people. Now, tonight on this program, we will explain exactly how these liberal policies have now resulted in a less safe America. You'll also hear tonight exclusively from a former NYPD lieutenant. He actually surveilled individuals at the specific mosque in Paterson, New Jersey, that this terrorist attended. We have all of that and so much more in tonight's breaking news opening monologue. All right, tonight, sadly, brand new information about the jihadist that attacked New York City by using a rented pickup truck, mowing down innocent people on a bike path. Now, authorities are now revealing new details about this ISIS-inspired attack. Let's take a look.
It appears that Mr. Sapov had been planning this for a number of weeks. He did this in the name of ISIS, and along with the other items recovered at the scene was some notes that further indicate that. He appears to have followed almost exactly to a T the instructions that ISIS has put out in its social media channels before, with instructions to their followers on how to carry out such an attack.
I told you I suspected that last night. Again, it's true. Catherine Herridge, our own Catherine Herridge, reporting the suspect did not show any remorse during an interrogation with authorities. And another report says the terrorist is now boasting and is said to be, quote, proud of this attack. Also tonight, there are reports that the mosque this terrorist attended in Paterson, New Jersey, was previously under surveillance by the New York Police Department in the mid-2000s. This is beyond disturbing, but unfortunately, it is not surprising. We have seen these types of attacks take place time and time again. Why? Because people on the left, Democrats, liberals, gutless politicians refuse to take the necessary actions from stopping this from happening in the first place. We'll have more on that in a second. But first, the president is responding to this terror attack, and he's calling for tougher measures to keep the American people safe. Isn't that what's most important? Including ending the diversity visa lottery program that this radical Islamist he used to enter the country. Take a look at this.
My administration is coordinating closely between federal and local officials to investigate the attack and to further investigate this animal who did the attacking. I'm going to ask Congress to immediately initiate work to get rid of this program. Diversity and diversity lottery. Diversity lottery sounds nice. It's not nice. It's not good. This man that came in, or whatever you want to call him, brought in with him other people. And he was the point of contact, the primary point of contact for, and this is preliminarily, 23 people that came in or potentially came in with him. And that's not acceptable. So we want to get rid of chain migration. I would certainly consider that. Send him to Gitmo. I would certainly consider that. Look, it's very simple. What we are demanding is merit-based immigration. We want people that are going to help our country. We want people that are going to keep our country safe.
Diversity, visa lottery, and then he brought in 23 others. We knew nothing about him. Now, the White House is also saying that they can treat this jihadist as an enemy combatant. I agree with this. Watch this.
Does the president believe this suspect should be classified as an enemy combatant?
I believe we would consider this person to be an enemy combatant, yes.
Also, the president rightly blasted the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer on Twitter. He wrote, quote, the terrorists came into our country through what is called the Diversity Visa Lottery Program, a Chuck Schumer beauty. I want merit-based, meaning merit-based immigration. The president is right. The diversity visa lottery program, well, that was Chuck Schumer's stupid idea, and the Department of Homeland Security has confirmed that the radical Islamists, in fact, used that program to enter our country in 2010. And as you just heard the president say, this terrorist was the point of contact for 23 more people that have or may have come into this country. Now, Senator Chuck Schumer, this was back in 1990 when he was a congressman. He introduced a bill creating this diversity visa lottery to allow immigrants to flow into the country. Now, Schumer's proposal eventually became part of a larger immigration package that was passed into law. And back in 2013, Chuck Schumer was bragging about what he did. Now, here's how Radio Liberty quoted him. "I was the author of the diversity visa program, so I care about it," Schumer said. That's after 9/11/01. Excuse me, is there any chance the terrorists could get into this country if Schumer didn't author that bill? Let me be clear. The odds are so much greater now because of the program. We would be a safer country if it weren't for this program. Maybe those people would be alive today. In 2006, we have a Government Accountability Office report that actually warned about terrorists and other bad actors exploiting this visa program. Congratulations, Chuck Schumer. Your brilliant idea to be more inclusive. It may have contributed to Americans losing their lives and being injured in New York City yesterday. And I have a question for the liberal senator. Where are your tears now, Chuck? This is something you should actually be crying about. Dead and injured New Yorkers. You're a New York senator. Now, regardless of whatever talking points this liberal echo chamber in America is going to be spewing about all of this, there is nothing that says America has to take in anybody from any country. Foreigners have no right to come here. It is a privilege. And President Trump and Congress are well within their constitutional authority to restrict access of whoever they see fit to come into the country. There's no way to ascertain what is in the hearts and mind of people who want to enter this country. Do they want to bring us harm or not bring us harm? Do they bring, say, if they grow up in a country that persecutes women and Christians and Jews and kill gays and lesbians, are they bringing those cultural mores with them? Now, that's why the president is now calling for a common sense approach. We need now badly extreme vetting, especially from these countries with these deplorable human rights records. Abuse of women, gays, lesbians, Christians, Jews. It's horrible. We need extreme vetting from societies and cultures that conflict with our constitutional freedoms and values. The bottom line, we need to know for sure who is coming into this country, and if we're not 100% sure, sorry, American safety comes first. Now, you wouldn't welcome somebody into your house, would you? Let them eat dinner with your family if you knew nothing about them? I don't think you would. So why shouldn't the same standard apply to our country? Now, the current system the Democrats are trying to defend is beyond stupid. They're not protecting the American people. It's reckless, and it's creating a very clear and present danger for you, the American people. And you have people like Chuck Schumer. They need to answer this question. Is immigrant diversity really more important than the safety of the American people? Because at the end of the day, it's that simple. Do they care more about letting people into this country who could cause us harm, or is their first job and responsibility to protect the American people? Now, the answer should be obvious, but for many on the left, it is not. Now, take, for example, the surveillance of the mosque that we know literally in this country. There are them out there that give rise to radical ideas and beliefs. It's happening inside this country. Now, we just told you that the mosque that this terrorist attended was monitored by the FBI in the early 2000s. But guess what? In comes Comrade Mayor de Blasio of New York City. He shut the program down. And de Blasio actually praised the decision of himself, saying, quote, "This reform is a critical step forward in easing tensions between the police and the communities they serve so that our cops, our citizens, can help one another go after the real bad guys." Now, here's a news flash for the mayor of New York City. Keeping that surveillance program intact may have prevented a terror attack like yesterday from ever happening. But de Blasio, he doesn't care about that. He's more concerned with being politically correct because, God forbid, we hurt the terrorists' feelings. God forbid we risk offending people, finding them, those that want to kill us and destroy us. The mayor's pathetic. Chuck Schumer's pathetic. They're both clueless. Now, he, along with Governor Cuomo, another clueless one in New York, are also shamelessly politicizing this attack. They're going after President Trump. They were asked about gun control by the liberal media during a press conference earlier today. Pretty unbelievable. Watch this.
We support very thorough vetting, not of groups of people just because they belong to a group. I think this is a very crucial distinction. There should be very, very careful vetting of anyone where there's an indication of a concern, but not because of their religion or not because of their country of origin. There's a much bigger conversation we could have about gun safety. The NYPD has always rigorously believed that we need to keep guns out of this city and that gun safety laws are here to protect us and protect our officers.
The president's tweets, I think, were not helpful. I don't think they were factual. I think they tended to point fingers and politicize the situation. As far as the gun laws, I am increasingly proud that New York State passed some of the smartest gun laws in the country. The SAFE Act, I think it is madness, the number of assault weapons that we have in this country. I think it endangers law enforcement. I think it costs us untold numbers of deaths. And I hope one day we'll have a federal policy that actually brings sanity to the gun policy laws in this country.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't they both have armed guards constantly, 24/7, around the clock? Oh, they're protected with guns. Amazing. By the way, this just in, and this is breaking. Prosecutors now say that the terrorist suspect asked to hang an ISIS flag in his hospital room. Number two, prosecutors say the terrorist suspect said he felt good about killing innocent people. So you look at people like the mayor of New York, the governor of New York, massive hypocrites. They are accusing President Trump of politicizing the tragedy, which is exactly what they just did earlier today. And here's the other thing. What does gun control have to do with this? The jihadist used a pickup truck. He didn't have real guns, and we know that even the strictest gun law wouldn't have stopped a terrorist. Now, just take a look at what happened in Paris in 2015. Remember, Paris has some of the toughest gun laws in the world, and it didn't matter. Jihadists still slaughtered over 125 people. So de Blasio, Cuomo, they don't know what they're talking about. They're completely wrong about what it's going to take to keep the American people safe. They've got armed guards. And as a result of their liberal policies, of reminding the governor, reminding the mayor, they all want to be so inclusive, accepting of refugees, unvetted immigrants, about their comments about conservatives in New York. Remember Governor Cuomo? Because I had governors from all over the country inviting me to live in their states, which, by the way, don't have a 10% state income tax, after you said this about anybody that's on the other side politically than you. Let's remind people.
Their problem is not me and the Democrats. Their problem is themselves. Who are they? Are they these extreme conservatives who are right to life, pro-assault weapon, anti-gay? Is that who they are? Because if that's who they are, and if they are the extreme conservatives, they have no place in the state of New York. Because that's not who New Yorkers are.
Well, wait a minute. I'm pro-life. I believe in the Second Amendment. It's clear what our founders and framers want. And Governor Cuomo, I'm the one that's saying that maybe if you come from a country that kills people for who they are, being gay and lesbian, they're being thrown off buildings, and people then they grow up with those values. They want to come here to America. It tells you all you need to know about Governor Cuomo. By the way, he thinks he's going to be president one day. Here's the bottom line tonight. America's safety is at stake tonight. These policies pushed by the likes of Schumer and Cuomo and de Blasio, they are putting all of us in harm's way.